Check it out. Whole new machine. Well, I've been doing a bunch of work to it, mechanic wise. I didn't want to film that stuff because this is a fabrication channel. I'm not gonna sit here and run wires and film that. That's boring. But it's came a long way. Fuel system's plumbed. If you can see those fuel lines. See if I can get a glimpse. Filter regulator. Intake I got at a garage sale off of F-150 and I cut and modified it. Brakes hooked up. They work. Steering hooked up. It works. Engine hooked up. It works. Check this out. All I need is some drive shafts, which I got the parts on the way, and it'll drive. But for now, what I'm gonna do, I've got some more fab stuff to do. I'm gonna do the dash. I gotta close all this in, hide all my wiring and plumbing and yada yada. I gotta raise it up, pull the springs, put it down on full bump so I can build my bump stop. So I got a set of 4 hydro bumps off my buddy Jack I traded for. And I got to build skid plates. And it's just about done. I'm about to get back to work. It's kind of a tow truck, rock crawler, suburban. I mean, it does a lot. Wheels good, seats 5. And did I mention it's a tow truck? She's got a great big old winch in the back there. always look good laid out. I got a couple of clearance issues, but nothing major. Exhaust on the pinion. Pinion hitting the exhaust. But I need to adjust my pinion angle anyway, so that may fix that. Alright, here's a new one for you. This is my tubing notcher. And I've sandwiched 2 tabs in there that I need to notch. And they sandwiched a little crooked, so I made the arbor a little crooked to match. That's plates for my bump stop cans. We're gonna go, you can't really tell right now, I'll show you in a bit. But I'm not quite sure if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Well, that worked pretty good. So these, I'm gonna weld to somewhere on those cans. I gotta go check my height and everything. That way that's notched for the tubing on the frame. They work pretty good. Both of them. Pump stop can. Boom. Alright, add a little more strength. I'm going to put this in there somewhere like that. Looks cool enough. Front bump stops. Check. There's the front bump stops all finished up. Also mounted my limit straps. They turned out pretty good. Got my springs put back in. And I'm working on the back. I need a place to bump. And the best place I can think of is right here. I'm gonna put these pads here and run a kicker off that tube. Kinda puts this bump stop right in here. Hard to tell. Let me mock it up. Bump stops in the rear. Got them mocked up. Here's my bump cans. Well, the bump stops looked good, but when I raised it up, they hit my shocks. Well, I'm not too happy about that. So I guess I got to cut them off and start over. Let me show you what I mean. can see, that's a problem. First drive. First move. Get that. For months it's been facing the other way, so of course, you know, I had to back it in. But quick down and dirty, shortened up those arms, moved those. I gotta extend the pads down there now, but I don't care, I drove it. This thing's rad. Fastest buggy I've ever had. Sitting backwards in the carport. Look at her, man. It's not finished, but it's close. I gotta switch some springs out. I'm too high in the front, too low in the back. I can adjust the back, but really I want the front to sit down about like the back is. And those springs are all the way loose. What I may do is switch 2 springs from the back, because they're the same rate, but they're shorter, and that'll drop it down. Rad. I got to do my limit straps in the back, skid plates, finish the bump stops, tighten all sorts of stuff. Right, both the gas tank now, that's pretty good. The brakes work good. I nearly ran over my old lady's car, but the brakes worked. These brakes stop like mad, which is great because my Toyota Buggy did not stop. It was pathetic, but you know, I got 1 ton everything on this one now. Okay, let's talk skid plates. This is 1/4 inch plate. I bought a 4x8 sheet of it. It was about $170. I used about half. What I did was I took it up to a buddy's metal shop, and they sheared it to the sizes I wanted. Put a little brake kicker in the front, and you know, not everybody has means to cut 1/4 inch plate. This would be a pain in the butt with a cutoff wheel or a torch, or, you know, I guess you could use a plasma, but I don't have a plasma cutter. So take it on down to your local metal shop. A lot of times you could tip out a guy $20 and he'll shear them up for you. You know, you bring your own metal. Something to think about. Well, I'm running out of time. We're going shakedown run. Saturday at Barnwell Mountain. That's 2 days. Well, 1 day and tonight. Count tonight as a day. So I'd like to make these skid plates removable, but I don't think that's going to happen in this amount of time that I have. So I'm probably going to weld them on And later on I'll cut them off and reattach some brackets so I can bolt them on. I'm working on one of them right here. Cutting out a spot for my drive shaft yoke so I can change the U-joints. And that's how you get hurt. Luckily it went for the ground and not my shirt. These flap wheels will grab your shirt or clothes or whatever. That's why I put it on the little grinder. And I've decided to cut it down, which is a bummer because I've already left the shop that has the shear, so I have to cut this 28-inch pass, 1/4-inch plate with a 6-inch cutoff wheel. Bummer. Cutting it down so I can get to my transfer case easier to service it and U-joint and whatnot. Well, there you go. It's not near as pretty or straight of a cut as that shear made, but I got it done. I cut 7 inches off. All right. My cut, as you can tell, is not near as straight or pretty as the shear, but I got it done nonetheless. I cut 7 inches off. Give you a little buggy update here. She runs, drives good, does not overheat, makes 14 volts, makes oil pressure, steers perfectly. Bump stops are almost finished. Fronts are, rear's not. I need to build a motor cage, but I'm running out of time and I want to go wheeling this weekend. So, you know, maybe not flip it. I've got a start here. I've got the Changus there and got some plates to weld down here that I'm gonna make it hinge open and stuff. That's gonna be kind of cool. Hopefully I'll get to build that tomorrow. We'll see. Dashboard's looking like some kind of fighter airplane looking thing. It's pretty sweet. Gauges are about half wired. Still messing with that. Got this cool all-in-one gauge from Summit. It's got temp, oil pressure, water. Well, water is temp. Bolts, tack. Of course, the tack's not working. I got to have some kind of resistor for the LS motor. Once I get these skid plates on and pop those rear bump stops in, and I got to finish these lower bump stop pads. Gusset this up and stretch them out a little bit. She should be ready to wheel. It's going wheeling. Like my funny little exhaust. There was no room for that muffler. It was crammed in there. It sounds great. Sounds great. I gotta hear it, you know. Sweet. Gas pedals. As for skid plates, this is where I'm at. I'm barely clearing the tranny pan. It just barely clears the Atlas bolts. Everything's solid urethane mounted, so it doesn't move a lot. It into something back here. Forgot about my fuel pump. I need to skid plate that stuff. Skid plate so I can drain my oil out of the buggy if I ever need. It does not like this 1/4-inch plate. So at some point you just got to say it's ready. I stayed up to 2 a.m. last night tightening bolts and odd ends and whatnot. We're going to Barnwell. Buggy did amazing. Only had a couple of hiccups with the cooling. Well, cooling fan. Maybe kicking on a wrong temp, not staying on, stuff like that. So I wired it direct and it stopped overheating. Had a little issue with the brake master cylinder rod, the push rod that pushes in the master cylinder. But it's all little stuff. It performed amazing. Absolutely love it. Of all the buggies I've had over the years, this one is by far the most fun to drive. You can't see anything the passenger side when you're driving. I'm gonna put a camera or something, but you really don't have to. You just hit the gas and it goes. I mean, you can't see what's there, but you're either gonna go up it or down it, whatever. Point and shoot. It's absolutely a blast to drive. Y'all please hit subscribe, like. If you want to see some more do-it-yourself builds in the front yard, in the dirt, carport. I mean, basic hand tools. You know the routine. Thanks, y'all.